good lady, please prepare your mind, because I'm going to ask you 3 questions. I'm going to give you most of my time. I think it's good that America hears what you have to say.
Of course we do. We need to move away from petrochemicals. We need to shut down the petrochemical facilities in your state and move away from plastic. We need to move away from it. And there are...
One of the more common things that Republicans do, or really any type of pundit who's making an argument not in good faith, what they do is they set up a question that they feel like is a little bit too difficult for someone to answer. And then when the other person successfully answers that question, they start cutting them off. They start yelling over them. That way it can seem like, I don't really have time for this nonsense, when in reality, they're just answering your question well. Because the whole premise of the question, like, all this stuff's made out of petroleum. Like, yeah, okay, but throughout human history, we found ways to substitute different types of materials and substitute different types of chemicals and, create more safe ways to go about things. That's what human innovation is all about. That's how we got lead out of all types of products, because before we got lead out of everything, big industry tycoons, they were trying to keep it in stuff because, well, why? Well, it made money. It's no different with big oil and gas. There's plenty of ways that we can move away from it, but the fact is that they have to make their argument. That's why he wouldn't let her speak.
Everything you've got is petrochemical products. What would you do with that? Tell the world.
If I had that power in the world, actually, I don't need that power, because what I would do is ask you, sir, from Louisiana.
I'm giving you the power. You're presenting.
To search you, sir, from Louisiana, to search your heart and understand why the EPA knows that toxic petrochemical facilities are some of the most toxic, polluting facilities in the world and are killing black people throughout Louisiana.
Okay,
so my first thing would be you to search your heart and ask your God what you are doing to the black and poor people in Louisiana.
And her first answer was a good one. Well, first I would ask you to do something. I would ask you to search your heart, because you're the one who's in office. You're the one who's in a position to actually make a difference. You're the one who's in a position to sign that pen and make a law either valid or not. So that was actually a great first answer before she got into actual tangible ideas on what we can do. Oh, and maybe the infrastructure bill that Biden passed, but, he tried to pass a bigger one, but Joe Manchin and Kyrsten Sinema didn't let it happen. And, of course, Joe Biden could have done more. The Democrats could have done more to make that happen. However, the point is that we know what we can do better. We know we can invest in cleaner energy sources. We know we can move away from the petrodollar. Oh, the petrodollar. That's really what it's all about. Because without oil and gas, the American dollar just wouldn't be as strong as it is.
The Lord gave us dominion over the planet and the creatures thereof. Now, the original translations of dominion means to care for and nurture. So from a biblical perspective, I am an environmentalist. I love my planet and the people and the creatures thereof. Do you?
And then the best part of the whole damn video is when he says, do you have concern for the environment for real? Because, according to the Bible, God gave us domain over the earth. And so from a biblical perspective, I'm an environmentalist. Like, what? Okay, well, first of all, if God gave us domain and dominion over the world, that means that he gave us leadership responsibilities. And we're failing at that miserably. We know the types of effects that climate change is having. We know what burning fossil fuels and coal is doing. We know, and we've known for decades. So there's really no excuse. So if God gave us dominion over the world, then we're doing quite a poor job then, aren't we? But according to your biblical perspective, you're an environmentalist and you're all in it for God. But you're doing a pretty poor job. Do you think that God will want our world more dirty? Oh, no. You don't care about any of that. You just care about your bottom line because you're a corrupt politician and you're pretty dumb at that. So, but no, that was my favorite part of the whole video. It's like, well, from a biblical perspective, I'm an environmentalist. Like, all right, bro.